Hi, I'm Pete for Film Doc Productions and welcome back to another episode of our How to Get Better Showreels video series. Let's talk about production value. When it comes to big budget Hollywood films and TV shows, it's not hard to see how they're adding bigger value for their production. Famous actors and crew members, amazing visual and sound effects, fantastic locations, well-known songs, hard to pull out shots that each of them cost more money than what an average person makes an entire year, are all part of a high-value production. Of course, when it comes to filming a showreel scene, it's very unlikely that any of these could be afforded. That's one of the main reasons why most of the time it's so obvious that a made-from-scratch showreel scene is just a made-from-scratch showreel scene. There is no production value in there whatsoever. Of course, it's difficult because you don't want to waste your 2-minute scene or 3-4 hours shooting time for expensive VFX shots. You're not going to film your scene at the top of the Eiffel Tower, and it would be also difficult to get Chris Hemsworth to be your scene partner. So adding production value to a showreel scene, it's not easy, and it's done in a way that will require some extra effort from your end as well. The good news is that if it's done right, the end result will be a way lot better than the big majority of any made-from-scratch showreel scene. Adding production value will make the difference between an amateur-looking and sounding showreel scene and the professional cinematic production that looks and sounds like that it's from an actual real movie or TV show. There are 7 ways to add production value to a showreel scene. Good acting, professional sound, both recording and design, professional video, both picture quality and style, location, production design, music, and extras. Now, all 7 elements are actually so big and important that there will be a dedicated episode for each of them. So this is now the first one, and there will be 6 further production value episodes so we can discuss each element properly. So today let's talk about the most important element of all, which is good acting. The number 1 reason to film a showreel scene is to showcase your acting, so you would get an agent or a role or at least an audition. If your acting in your reel is not good enough, then the 6 other elements are simply don't matter. So what you can do to make sure that your performance in your showreel is your absolute best. Firstly, pick the right character and scene. When you film a made-from-scratch showreel scene, you have the luxury to decide the character and the scenario, which allows you to show your very best skills. Don't go super ambitious, go super easy. It's better to deliver 100% in a less ambitious scene than 90% with a lot more ambitious one. Filming a showreel scene is not for practicing, it's to show off, to do what you do best. Can you cry on cue? Great! Tell us what's that scenario that will make it as easy as possible for you so you can do that. But if you're struggling with it on the other hand, then don't pick a scene that would be better if you could go that far. Now, it is very difficult to see ourselves with an objective eye, so don't be afraid of asking people who know you and your acting and who you trust about your best qualities and what's better not to try. Secondly, know your lines. Now, that might sound silly and way too obvious, but you would be surprised. I've seen it way too many times, and not just while filming showreels. It's also happened while I was working on bigger productions that actors showed up on set without knowing their lines. Now, this is the biggest disrespect, and not only for other actors and crew members and the entire production, but for yourself and your acting as well. You can't possibly focus on your character's emotions if you keep forgetting your lines, or even if you have to think about what you're gonna say next. So make sure that when you arrive on set, you know your lines back and forth, so 100% of your focus can go towards the emotions of your character. Lastly, practice. Once you're comfortable with your lines, record yourself. It doesn't have to look or sound good, it's not for anyone else to see. Film yourself, play it back, see what you can do better, then do it again. Sometimes what you feel how your performance looks is very different how it actually looks. But don't just practice in front of a mirror or in selfie mode with your camera while you can actually see yourself while you perform. You're not gonna see yourself while we film you either. Also, it's a really good idea to contact with your scene partner and rehearse together. It's so much different when you can actually interact with another person, even if it's just through Skype. You can give feedback to each other, and if you haven't met before, it's a really great icebreaker, and you're not gonna arrive to the set with the feeling that you are working with a complete stranger. So there you have it, doing what you do best, knowing your lines back and forth, and practicing as much as you can, preferably with recording yourself too, will all help you to deliver your best performance possible. So that's it for now, thanks for watching, I hope you found it useful, and I will see you next time when we will discuss the importance of professional sound. Effort? Extra effort? That there will be rock.